Hi, welcome to Little Bun the Helper. I am Jeannie Barr. I am the creator of Little Bun the Helper and its companion guide, The Family Plan. And oh, by the way, you can get the family plan if you just check the link down below to the website littlebunandfriends.com, and you can download this and it's yours. And I'm guessing that you're here because you have resonated with something in the chronic illness title, or you have seen the videos and you have a loved one, if not yourself, are living with chronic illness. And if that's the case, I am so sorry. I can empathize. I've been living with chronic illness, actually multiple chronic illnesses, for about 20 years now. And I'm here because I have gotten so many amazing questions and comments about why did I write Little One and what is the family plan, as well as a lot of really kind and gentle and loving people who have shared their stories with me. And I am so grateful to you for that. Thank you. Thank you. That truly, it means the world. I am not a doctor. I am not your professional here to give you professional advice or feedback or tell you what to do by any means. I am a mom and a chronic illness warrior who is just trying to make it through every single day, which I'm guessing you are trying to as well. Whether it be you or your loved one who is living with chronic illness. As I said, I've gotten amazing feedback and so many beautiful stories, and I send nothing but love and blessings out to all of you for healing, hope, and light, and to let you know that you will get through this. However that looks, you will get through this. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote Little Bun and the family plan. And Little Bun is actually one in a series. The next book is Little Bun the Listener, which deals with anxiety, and that should be coming out in the spring. But that's for another time. I would love to hear your stories and your feedback, and let's share them here. This is a great place to talk about, what is going on and next steps, and we can only get better by helping each other. In this world that we're living in right now, some crazy times, we gotta support each other. So I wrote Little Bun, the Helper, because of my own lived experience. And Little Bun is actually my child, that's my nickname for my child. And at the time I was married. I am now divorced, because unfortunately, my husband, who is the best person in the world, I think, and is an amazing father, just had an awful lot put on his plate that, it's a big ask. It's a huge ask. And we are great friends now. And he's an amazing co-parent. Although our little Bun is now 23. But what I realized was when I was first diagnosed with my first cancer, which was back in, my child was in elementary school at the time, was in 2nd grade, and I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the pickup line and I got a phone call saying, we just found melanoma and, blah, blah, blah. So I had already had a couple spine surgeries by that point. I've had 16 spine surgeries, 17. I kind of lost count at this point. But, and so many autoimmune issues and countless near-death experiences from so many different things. But I realized when I left the hospital, nobody said, hey, I know you're going through it and your family's going through it, because when you have an illness or a chronic illness in this case, you're not going through it alone. It affects everybody. Everybody. Friends, family, your children, everyone. And while you are feeling like your world is crashing and collapsing and you're going into survival mode, your partner is too, and most likely your child is feeling that way too, given what they may or may not know. I unfortunately had the misfortune of having a doctor share exactly what my prognosis was right in front of my child, which sent them in a tailspin. Is mommy going to die? And it was awful. And then out the door they went with no, hey, this might be a helpful thing to, to help you cope. Here's a roadmap to, maybe help your family, get support. None of that. Nothing. So that's how Little Bun was created. It was realizing that in cases like these, you really need support and you need help. And regardless of how you're feeling, obviously horrid because you're going through this, you're living with this major illness, but, there's other feelings that come along with it, guilt and, and all that entails, and fear. And, fear is just an ugly, ugly monster that can just grow and take over. So this book is to help kind of take that fear, break it down to a manageable level, and let you know that with the help and support around you, the people who love you, your friends, your family, if you are if you are religious or spiritual, if you're in any one of those communities, or, neighbors, etc., 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 that help can really be mobilized to support you and your family. What I did was I called the school because my child was having a really tough time at school. So I spoke with the principal, who it just happened. I was getting treatment with her husband, and I didn't know it was her husband. And we sat in infusion seats right next to each other, and we chatted the whole time. And then one story led to the next, and I figured out that he was married to the principal of my child's school. Excuse me for a second. By the way, bear with me. I'm not really great at being on camera. So, which is why I'm wearing my comfy sweatshirt. And thankfully I had that unfortunate connection. So I reached out to her and I said, this is what's going on, because clearly I was outed because she walked in and saw me sitting next to her husband, and we're both, had our ports all, we're getting our, our treatment. And we created a plan of when my child was having a hard time and needed a little one-on-one time with, someone, that there was somebody that she could identify. So I asked my child, who do you feel safe with at school? And they named a few people. And I asked if there was a way that if it was during class time, that there was a sign that they could give to the teacher. The two of them could have a special sign. And so they came up with one, and hers was scratching her cheek over and over again until, gently, obviously. And then she was allowed to go out and walk to the principal's office where the guidance counselor was. And it turned out the nurse was who they felt very comfortable with. And so they would spend some time with the nurse. And then when they were feeling ready, they went back to class. When they were isolating and just couldn't handle being around a lot of people, like around a lot of their friends, out on the playground, they identified a person out on the playground that they felt safe with and they could sit with or swing on the swings with. And their best friend was also very helpful, although, not to talk about big emotions or, because little ones can't talk about big emotions. They can talk about little emotions, although they're big, but they just can't process them at that age. And it's up to us to make them feel heard, feel safe, feel supported. And that's what the family plan does. It helps wrap them with plans of how to feel safe at school, how to feel safe, in your next step. If they have to if they want to go, they're in like an after school program and they want to go, how are you going to get there? Because in our case, I couldn't bring them because I was too sick and their dad was working and we needed that income. So we had supports put in place to transfer, like to drive them to different activities. Also, food was a big issue, meal prep and grocery shopping. So, we put that together in the plan as well. And we included our child in how that would look. Who do you feel the safest with? What parents do you feel the safest with? Who of your friends do you feel the safest with? And that's who we utilized. And I'm constantly checked in to make sure nobody felt burnt out. If they did, we would rotate different friends. And that's what worked for us. And that's what I realized wasn't out there. So I put it together. And that is how Little Bun, the Helper, and the family plan was created. And I would love to hear your feedback down below. Feel free, if you hit like and subscribe. And I'd love to hear more from you. Where are you from? What's going on in your world? We're walking this journey together. So let's do it together. And I send you nothing but love and prayers and support and blessings. And I look forward to our next talk. And I will answer the next question in the next video. Thank you for being here.